Good morning, members. 9:15 Wednesday, November 25th. This is our last full trading day of the week with the holidays coming up. SPY is set to open higher, but not by much, giving back some of those gains. We are in a little bit of a downtrend pre-market. We hit the high first thing, and we're seeing some lower highs. And we're now testing the 100 period moving average support, and that level is 209.43. Below that, we have 209.15, and then the 200 period is 209.03. In the chat room at the top, at the header, it says general chat, and then I put a new banner up there. It's going to be today's stocks, pretty much setups that I like, and if one of them were to lose key support and the trade no longer be in play, I'll take it off the list. And if something sees a lot of action and something we like, I will add it up there. That's just a place where people can come in and first thing look up and see some stocks they should check out that are behaving as anticipated. So let's get right into it. Let's see what Suni's doing with all the activity yesterday. We are in a clearly defined channel, consolidating. The 200 period moving average support is 371 and the 100 period resistance is 406. So a break above will be bullish and a break below will be bearish. That's a clearly defined channel that will tighten as time goes on, and we'll see where we head. $4 is going to be psychological resistance at the open. NUGT gold is down. We are also in the channel. Same thing, 200 period moving average support, 100 period moving average resistance. Support is 24.98, resistance 25.70. Keep your eye on gold, as we did have a pretty big sell-off this hour on the hourly chart. The candlestick dropped from 1074 down to 1068. So a $6 drop, and still waiting for gold to find support. The key is going to be for gold to close over the 10-day moving average resistance, which should be about 1076 today. UGAZ is down from the close yesterday. All moving averages are resistance. We have 283 and 286. The high pre-market was 291 and the low was down here at 277. So it looks like after a bullish day yesterday, well, we actually had a lower open, a new all-time low for you guys, and then some bullish recovery, and looks like we're now consolidating after that level. UWTI, let's see how oil is shaping up today. We had a bullish day yesterday. Down here, first thing, we have $7 psychological support. 20 period support is 705. 100 period resistance 722. 200 period resistance is 731, and that's where we pulled back from first thing this morning. So need to see oil and UWTI start setting some higher highs, and a break above 720 will be the first step. SKX had a nice bullish day yesterday. Not much going on pre-market. We're watching this 100 period moving average support of 30 even. That's a psychological level that needs to hold. The 20 period has been resistance for about the last hour and a half. That level is 30.20, and if we break the high of the day, 30.55, we'll see some nice continuation for SKX. I would personally be moving up my stop loss with this one just to lock in that profit when it does come, because I'm not so sure that SKX is going to break the high of Friday, which, looking at the daily chart, we had a long upper wick, and that level was 30.78. So need to break 30.78 in order to keep heading higher. GoPro had a bullish day yesterday, but that's certainly relative in the world of GoPro. So we're looking for a break above 1950. We're at that level right now, just above it. That was the high of yesterday. And then we are going to be looking at the next level of resistance is 2024 after that 20 psychological level. 10-day moving average is the key, as it has been for about 3 months for GoPro. 2104 currently, and will be under 21 with the open today. So still waiting for that 10-day moving average to become support before becoming a believer in any kind of GoPro bounce. Tesla, all moving averages are support. 20 period is 221.12. We have 225 psychological resistance on the daily chart. We've pulled back from it the last 2 attempts, so keep that level in mind. 219 and 218 are the 100 and 200 period moving average supports as well. So off to a good start for Tesla. Amazon, all moving averages are support. We got the 20 period at 674.67. The 200 period is 673.66, and the 100 period 672.14. So Amazon is flirting around its all-time high. We saw the all-time high 2 days ago at 682.77, so that's going to be resistance. We have bounced off the 10-day moving average support 3 out of the last 4 days. That level is 661.57, and as long as the 10-day moving average support holds, we are in a strong uptrend on the daily chart for Amazon. Let's check out. Just scroll back up here. Google. Google 200 period resistance is 773.86. 20 period support 770.27. Checking the daily chart for Google. We had a high 2 days ago at 782.90. That's going to be resistance. Bouncing off the 10-day moving average support of 760.15. And we are currently set to open higher, but the high of yesterday is 776. So need to break 776 to keep heading higher. Watch on any of these stocks for double tops as we may. I'm not very convinced that we're going to see a bullish day today with that 210 being strong resistance. But if we can break 210, I will quickly change my stance on the markets and SPY. CMG opening up, looking for a gap open here. We're looking at resistance of the 10-day moving average. That's currently 588, and that's going to drop down with the open. Should be where we test first thing. So if we do pull back from the mid 580s, that will be the resistance that we are seeing. And looking good opening over 580 resistance and the high of day yesterday. Be cautious after 2 green days and now a gap up. It was always drilled into my head that gap ups are for selling. So we'll see if that's the case for CMG today. Facebook. 20 period moving average is 106.18. Nice little uptrend here, but we do have some lower highs. So the high of pre-market is 106.36. Then we pulled back from 106.30. Support is 105.93 and 105.94. That's a strong level where the 100 and 200 period supports are both lining up at the same level. We had a bullish reversal candlestick form yesterday. We could not close above the middle Bollinger Band. We closed below it by 3 cents and were also rejected from the 10-day moving average at the high of the day. So the 10-day moving average is 106.42, and that's going to drop down. That's pretty much where we're going to open here today, and that will be a key level to watch. The bulls need to close over 105.77, the middle Bollinger Band, and if not, we could see some more downside. Watch for a break over 106.49, which was the high of yesterday, and could indicate confirmation of this bullish reversal candlestick. Apple. Looking really bullish here. We're at the high of pre-market on this candlestick. 20 period moving average support is 119.04. 100 period 118.88. We've got 120 psychological resistance for Apple, and then 120.95 is that strong 200-day moving average resistance. So the high of yesterday was 119.35. Need to set a higher high. We've had 3 days in a row of lower highs and lower lows. So a break above 119.35 will be a break in that trend and a little bit of favor for the bulls of Apple. TERP, we've got resistance at 836 and 847, a high pre-market of 846, actually all the way back here at 858 first thing. So TERP had a bullish reversal candlestick, and we've been watching $8 support has held 3 times in the past 4 days. We are going to open fairly significantly lower today. 827 is a support level I'm looking at, which was the low of Monday. And we'll be seeing if $8 support can hold and if we can break $9 psychological resistance to start working on this bounce. BBRY. 100 period moving average support of 789. 20 period is 796. We have bulls want to see decreasing volume continue as long as we are consolidating. Check back in on SPY with 2 minutes until the open. Key 100 period support is being tested at 209.44. Support after that 209.15 and 209.05. Resistance 209.58 and 209.83. So if we can break above 210, we'll be bullish on SPY. And if we lose 209 support, we'll be looking down for potential support levels. But SPY has major moving averages as support to start the day, so we'll see how long it holds. XON, not much going on pre-market. Need to look at the daily chart. We've got about a minute and a half until the open. XON, $34 is support. Need to break the high of yesterday, 35.04. If we close below $34, we're going to be looking down at support 32.77 and 31.56. Not a good looking chart if we cannot hold $34 support. EROS, very interesting one, certainly in play today. Up at 940 here pre-market, we have 200 period support, 923, and then 902 support. 920 was a tough level to break, although at the end of the day we did get up to 934. So EROS had some very interesting action, huge sell-off, and then recovery for the rest of the day. Looks like someone triggered some stop losses and loaded up. We could see some bullish news for EROS. Certainly don't want to make a play anticipating bullish news, but that's what we saw happen with TTPH. So here is the open. FCX needs to hold $8 support. 820 is resistance. We've got 823 to be exact, and support is 815. We're in a clearly defined channel right now, so we'll see which breaks. So here is the open. We're going to be watching SUNY as we are struggling with $4 resistance, down a little bit today after the extremely bearish yesterday. Twitter, a little bit of a gap open. PCLN as well. CMG watching for that 10-day moving average. Need to get that level updated. And my daily chart has not updated yet for CMG. That 10-day moving average is going to be critical to know because we have that level being tested right now first thing. So that level is 584.38. Let's see if we pull back from 585, and if we do, that's going to be a key resistance level. PCLN heading up. 1256 is the first target there for the bulls. OZM is on watch. Pretty big spread right now. A break of 575 is bullish. No volume on EROS. Not sure what's going on there. So SUNY is pulling back. We're looking for support on SUNY. It's going to be the 200 period moving average support of 372. We hit a low pre-market of 371, so let's see if we get a double bottom there. Potentially a level for bouncing. S had a double bottom on the daily 3-month chart yesterday at 371, 372. Seeing some nice continuation. First thing, just by setting a higher high. We'll see how high S can go. Need to check the daily chart for our next resistance level for S. And I am looking at 389 and then 394. So CMG, I would probably, if I were in CMG, bullish still from the other day, I would be locking in my profit here just because we aren't blowing right through that 10-day moving average resistance and we had a little bit of a gap up. I would want to lock in my profit. So for SPY, SPY here, trying to hold this 100 period, 209.44. If we lose it, it will be a bearish tone first thing. FCX just had a big drop, testing that $8 support. PCLN testing 1250 resistance. Nice start for the day. Very quick recovery for FCX. Hit a low of 805. Lots of volume coming in first thing. Definitely still on watch. EROS finally got some volume. $9 support being tested on the bid. OZM broke 575. And looking for some upside there. Very oversold. So nice bounce for SUNY. Testing 405 resistance and $4 psychological resistance. SKX needs to break the high of yesterday. I believe that is 30.55. Double checking. We had a high of 30.55 and we hit 30.60 first thing, so that's a good sign. Resistance is going to be 30.78. I would move my stop loss up and see how high I can run here first thing, keeping that 30.78 level in mind. PCLN, very nice continuation, looking for 12.56 level to break as resistance and then keep heading higher. The close over the 200-day moving average was the signal that we were going to see some follow through. Bulls made sure to make that happen. M breaking above 40, up at 40.16 now, checking the daily chart to see resistance. 40.29, after we break 40.29, not seeing any resistance until 41.58. So testing that 40.29 level right now. EROS watching for a break of 920. CMG, that pullback from the 10-day moving average resistance, definitely a red flag for the bulls. We'll see how low we drop here. We have support levels. 20-period moving average is 581.77. And after that, all the way down to 570. So lots of room for downside if that support breaks. Nice start on the day for Twitter and PCLN as well. FCX just held 805 for the second test, so we'll see if that support can hold for the rest of the day. Support on FCX, we have lost all moving average support on the 5-minute. So $8 psychological needs to hold, and if that is lost, we'll be looking for more downside. Need a green candlestick to confirm the bullish reversal from yesterday. And not a good start first thing. And there is 805 support being lost, so now it's all up to $8. Netflix bounced off the 200-period moving average support of 123.66, hit a high of 125.20. Checking the daily chart, we had a high of day yesterday for Netflix of 124.66, so we've already broken that. Bullish start to the day. Next level of resistance is 126.20. Consolidating back down, 20-period support is 124.03. So a bullish start for Netflix. We'll see if it can hold throughout the day. SPY is at the low of the day. 209.15 support is next. We did lose that 100-period support. So we'll see how much bearish follow through we have with SPY. CMG pulling back from that 10-day moving average resistance first thing. See how Etsy is shaping up. Etsy, we're looking for a close over $9. We're right up at that level with a high of $8.96. TERP needs to get above $8.46 to be looking for a bullish move today. Seeing some wide ranges in Sunni first thing. We are in this channel. Look at the first candlestick, pretty much defining it with the low and the high. 200 period support 373, 100 period resistance 405. Race with new lows, 46.46 was support, no longer support. Google bouncing off the 20 period moving average support here. Two lower wicks, that level is 770.43. 200 period strong resistance of 773.76. Still in this channel, 100 period support of 769.53 and 773.76. Look for a breakout or a breakdown to indicate short-term direction for Google. CLVS, looking for a break of 28.65. Volume yesterday was 6 million, so a long way to go. Watching for a breakout there, but no signs of it here first thing. TTPH back over $11 support is a good sign. The daily chart there, we are looking at 10-day moving average of 1105. Need to close above it. And resistance is the high of yesterday, 1135. Middle Bollinger Band keeps on moving up, 1082 currently, 1081. Sunni coming down to test the low of the day of 375. FCX testing $8 support. We had a low 2 days ago of 794. So that is the must-hold level for FCX. And there's that big $8 support for FCX. We'll see if it can hold here. Sunni lost the low of the day. Down it goes. So not much follow through from the bullish move yesterday. We are losing the 200 period moving average support of 373. We'll see if the bulls can close back above it before this candlestick closes in 3.5 minutes. 360 was previously resistance. We just bounced off 361. PCLN has pulled back $10 from its high, and it was right off of that 200 period moving average resistance of 1253. So that's going to be a key level in play today. SPY is testing 209.15 support, still heading down. After 209.15, we have 209.07. Getting an update on SPY daily chart for some key support levels. And looking at the middle Bollinger Band of 208.29. If we do not set a new high for SPY today, it will be the fourth lower high in a row. Glad to hear it, Jay. That 10-day moving average resistance was the first key thing to look at, and seeing it stall out a bit, definitely a red flag. Also the gap up. Gap ups are for selling the majority of the time. And that was certainly the case for CMG first thing. Twitter is the most bullish looking setup. A close above the 10-day moving average, 2570, is bullish. We have a new high. Resistance looking at 26 psychological, and then 2627. Apple is bouncing off the 200 period moving average support of 118.49, putting us in that channel. 118.49 support, 100 period resistance is 118.89. We'll see if that 200 period can hold. Perfect bounce off of it so far. VRX 20 period moving average resistance, we rejected from it first thing. That level is 85.10. We do have a double bottom with the low from pre-market 83.04, 83.02. So 83 is support. Middle Bollinger Band is resistance, 85.21. A close above 85.21 is bullish. And the 10-day moving average support is 80.01. So I'm not convinced on VRX just yet. 3 days of lower highs and lower lows. And pretty much it's 10-day moving average support and middle Bollinger Band resistance. And I am not convinced that we have found consolidation on this pullback, but we'll be watching very closely. Resistance again, 84.97, 86.91, 88.09. CLVS testing $28 psychological resistance. And SPY, low of the day, still heading down, looking at 209 psychological, and then the middle Bollinger Band of 208. Forget the exact number, in the 20s. I'll get the exact number for you. Middle Bollinger Band support, 208.28. Looking for VRX to consolidate more, Jay. So BABA, 200 period moving average support is 80.75. Then we got the 20 period of 80.98, hitting some resistance at 81.80. Looking at the daily chart, and I know that we're above $80, so that's a good sign for BABA. That's the key gauge from here on out. Currently, a green candlestick looks to be confirming the bullish. Well, we didn't even need a bullish reversal because we were already in an uptrend, but nice buy off of the 200-day moving average support yesterday. Resistance is going to be 82.19. If we break 82.19, it's a great sign for the bulls. MACD looking for a bullish cross with a couple more green days. So SUNY did recover that 200 period moving average support. You can see that the dip was bought right up to that level. Looks to see that is happening again at 373. Needs to hold. This candlestick has about 2 minutes left to go. SPY hit a low of 209.01. So we'll be watching 209. Resistance for SUNY is 387 and $4. NUGT, look at these lower wicks where the bulls are buying these dips. Need to get above the 200 period moving average resistance convincingly of 25.02, and doing a nice job of it. NCTY first thing. 20 period support, holding it like a champ. The first three candlesticks. 316 is that level. High of pre-market is 348. Checking the daily chart for NCTY. And a gap up extended way above the upper Bollinger Band. Currently a bearish reversal doji forming. I know it's way early in the day. Volume is impressive though. 822,000 was the total yesterday. And we already have about half of that in the first 20 minutes of trading. So very interesting. With that gap up, $3 stock, certainly tons of caution is needed. I would be out in a heartbeat if we lost this 20 period moving average support and set a new low of day. But that volume is the only thing keeping me from saying stay away from NCTY. So Sunni, nice recovery of that 200 period. Tesla, higher highs. Let's see what we do with that 225 test. If you look at the daily chart, you can see some upper wicks pulling back from that level twice in the past 5 days. Hit a high of 226.19 and closed $5 lower. And then hit a high of 225 on the nose and closed $5 lower. So TTPH is at the high of the day. Still definitely a very interesting chart with the middle Bollinger Band support catching up. Break of 1135 is bullish. Let's see, volume yesterday total was just under 700,000, so 30,000, certainly nothing to brag about the first 20 minutes of trading. SPY seeing a little bit of a bounce. Resistance is going to be the 100 period moving average. That is 209.45. You can see we bounced off of the 200 period moving average support of 209.08 and the level of 209.15. So support held, and now we'll see if resistance holds and keeps us in this tight channel. VRX is breaking above the 20 period moving average, needs to close above 84.84 this candlestick. Next resistance will be 85.34, 85.60. Still a ways to go, but there is a nice $2 move before hitting the next resistance, but as of right now, not convincing over that middle Bollinger Band. That 20 period on the 5 minute, keep your eye on that level. Twitter, I'd say it's a little late. We were looking at entry yesterday at 25.20. I wouldn't want to be entering here, I don't think, checking the daily chart and the risk to reward. A close over the 10-day moving average is a good sign. We did have a little bit of a gap up today. Perhaps off the 20 period moving average support of 25.74. Total volume yesterday was 10.5 million. So looking like we could see a nice increase over that level today. 25.70 is daily chart or daily support, and 25.74 is 5 minute support. FCX heading back down to test $8, it appears. We're seeing that exponential moving average resistance knocking the price back down. Sunni is maintaining the 200 period moving average support. Resistance is 387, support 373. Entry point for Sunni, I would say if we can test and hold this 200 period moving average again, it would be a nice entry. Not liking the risk to reward right now just because we have 387 resistance, $4 and 403 resistance. We'll see when we test this 20 period moving average. This bullish volume is not convincing just yet, which is why I'm hesitating. Twitter keeps going, so we'll see if we test that $26 resistance. Let's see what the 5-minute RSI is. 67, so we'll see if it's able to break through 26 psychological. STRP, trying to hold 20 period moving average support of 973. Checking the daily chart. Needs to break the high from yesterday of 1044. 10-day moving average support is 918. GMCR. Nice start to the day. 20 period moving average support is 49.45. Checking the daily. A little bit of a gap up. Seeing bullish reversal confirmation. Resistance is going to be the high of today of 50.98. And then the high of 4 days ago, 51.72. Looking for more than 4.1 million volume on the day. Facebook held those key supports and then hit some higher highs, but was unable to keep those levels. So we're seeing some resistance at 106.40. As long as these 100 and 200 period moving averages are support, Facebook will be bullish. So VRX did close above the 20 period moving average support. Resistance level is now 86.89. Watching how this 5-minute candlestick shapes up. Volume is certainly pouring in. But watching this, currently a bearish reversal candlestick forming. 86.89 is resistance. GMCR I would not enter after this gap up. Risk to reward is favoring risk at this level. CMG, bullish reversal candlestick bouncing off 100 period moving average support of 570.85. Currently looking to confirm it. And we'll see how it reacts to these exponential moving averages. But a nice increase in bullish volume holding that support level. MSFT lost all moving average support on the 5-minute chart, so that is bearish. Let's check the daily chart. Ten-day moving average support is 53.63. Middle Bollinger Band 53.55. As long as those keep holding, MSFT is still looking good. We are seeing some resistance. We have been pulling back from the 54.50 level. Need to close above 54.50 to be bullish, but as long as we hold 53.55, that will be some nice support. So SPY hit a new high of day. Let's see if we closed above that resistance. Looking for this candlestick to close above 209.51 for a bullish development, but we're still watching these lower highs from pre-market. So still some work to do with regard to that. Need to break above 209.94 to be really convincing. Sunni rejected from the 20 period moving average resistance. We'll see if we come back down and test 374 support. UWTI bouncing here, 4 candlesticks in a row with higher lows. But look at pre-market, we are in a very clear downtrend. So oil is definitely bearish to start the day. Resistance is 702 and $7 psychological. So TERP is losing $8 support, which we had bounced off of 3 of the past previous days. So unless we can close above $8, definitely staying away from TERP, waiting for support to be found. So VRX definitely has some strength here. It's all about that 86.89 and 88.08. The unfortunate thing about the wild moves that VRX has is these moving averages are spaced to the point where the break of one only allows for about $1.10 move before you're at the next major moving average resistance. But let's see how the candlestick is shaping up on the daily chart. A close over 85.30 would be a bullish sign, middle Bollinger Band. High of yesterday was 89.07. Keep your eye on volume too. Need more than 16.5 million. We're already at 3 million. So that's a good start. And here's that test right now. Increasing bullish volume. DLTR 20 period moving average support is 74.33 and then 73.56. Checking the daily chart. SPY is right up at the high of the day. Daily chart for DLTR is getting rejected for the second day in a row from the 200-day moving average resistance. So certainly I agree with the short position, as we are a little bit overbought, extended above the upper Bollinger Band. 8 green days in a row, and now hitting some major resistance. Netflix. High of the day is resistance at 125.20. After that is 126.20. Unable to set a new high of day. So we'll see if we consolidate from here. EXAS trying to find support at 879. EXAS was bearish yesterday. We lost some key support, and I even took it off the watch list after having it on there for about a month because of that bearish development. So it has a lot of proving to do for EXAS to get back in my good graces. So M appears to have broken above that resistance. Checking back on the daily chart, we see that high from 2 days ago was 40.29. So we have broken it. Not by a ton. Well, we got up to 40.37, so that's a significant enough break. And looking good as long as this 20 period moving average support holds, and we have these major moving averages right down there at 39.77. So looking for M to continue up. Next resistance level is 41.58. FCX entry would be looking. This is a bottom fishing play, as $8 is trying to be maintained as support. If you entered here, putting your stop loss, the low we've seen is 794. So if you put your stop loss at 793, you would give yourself a bunch of wiggle room. But again, it's a bottom fishing play. Support is not strongly established. Looking to form a higher low and try and break above 810 to get a higher high going. Very bullish day yesterday, being erased here first thing. But we'll see if that $8 support can hold. That is the key for FCX. Still watching Etsy. 20 period moving average support is 891, and we're looking for a break of $9. TTPH is at the high of the day. 1135 break is bullish. VRX looks to be hanging out around that 100 period resistance still. Getting rejected from it this candlestick. We'll see if we can close above it. 86.89. OZM is still looking good. We got 20 period support of 572. Checking the daily chart for OZM, we have a higher high over the past 2 days. Looking for more than 1.2 million volume. Long way away from that from happening. And here's FCX to test the low of the day, $8 again. EROS looking for 921 200 period moving average to become support. We are seeing a big spike in bullish volume, but I need 921 as support. There's VRX breaking above that 100 period. We'll see if this candlestick can close above it. 200 period is 88.08. STRP trading fairly straight across here. We have two upper wicks the past 2 days being rejected from $10 psychological resistance. So seeing a chart like that, I would want to see that we were going to close above $10 before entering, because 2 days in a row now it's rejected the price. Facebook still holding these supports, so still looking all right. 220 period resistance is 106.21, pretty defined tight range, but as long as 105.90 is support, Facebook is looking good. Looking like we're coming back down to potentially test these levels. Tesla hits 225, so now we just need to close above it. We have broken above it 2 days recently and have been unable to close above it with the RSI on the 5-minute chart at 82. I would be looking to lock in my profit in the near future if I were in it. We have a high of 225. We have broken. Next resistance level, 226.19. Watching volume. A increase over 2.5 million volume is bullish for Tesla. Suni testing the 200 period support and currently through it. Need this candlestick to close above 374 for the bulls. TVIX. Resistance is the 20 period at 606. And then the 100 period at 612. We are still maintaining $6. Clearly that's a strong level of support. And here's SPY pulling back a little bit, testing some of its support levels back below the 100 period. So it looks like we may test 209.15 again. So VRX still struggling with that 100 period. And look where we pulled back from. Fairly big drop. Support is going to be 84.81. So we got a minute and a half left in this candlestick. Suni bulls need to get back over 374. Remember to be very cautious today and Friday with the holiday week. No reason to force trades at the end of the month. We're at the high of the day for you guys. Resistance is there. 200 period at 282 and then 285. Twitter, we saw a dip down to 2580. The 20 period moving average support is 2576. Still riding those exponential moving average supports up. 26 psychological resistance is the next level to test. OZM set for a new high of the day. NUGT breaking above 25 psychological resistance. So a nice high of the day for NUGT. 2564 is resistance there. KBIO certainly very risky. I've been refraining from covering it just because it's just asking people without experience to get trapped. And that's obviously not what I want. Upper Bollinger Band support is 2819. 200 period moving average support is 2744. If you are playing KBIO, you need a stop loss the second after you enter a trade. Looks like we're in a consolidation pattern. Lower high. We'll see if we get a higher low. Still intrigued with EROS, but we need some more bullish activity. 10-day moving average support has started to curl up. That's 868. We have had 5 days now of lower highs, so we need to break 934. Could be setting up for some bullish upside perhaps next week if we don't see that 934 break today. UGAZ, a new high of the day, testing resistance of 282, and then resistance is 286. High of the day test for Twitter as well. Twitter not doing much consolidating. Did get close to the 20 period moving average support. And there is a new high, and it's all about 26 right now. Resistance after 26 for Twitter is 26.27. Looking like we are going to confirm the bullish reversal today. 25 is strong support. So Facebook did see a temporary break, but that's why it's important where the candlesticks close, because look at this bullish follow through off of that bounce, still maintaining 105.90, 105.95 supports, trying to get the 20 period back as support as well, 106.20. Going to see an increase in bullish volume, it appears. So still maintaining key support for Facebook, came close to losing it there. Netflix, a little bit of a double top. We had a high of 125.20 and then 125.10. I hear that, CS. PCLN breaking back above that 200 period of 1,252. If we get a new high of day here, we'll be looking really bullish for PCLN. CMG following through slowly with that bullish reversal bounce off the 100 period. Resistance is 580, this 20 period, and it's dropping. Twitter did break 26, so keeping up the bullish momentum. Nice big volume spike. Just not confident in entry here in terms of continuation for the rest of the day after a 2% move to start. FCX watching for a break of 810 for a higher high. We have 811 20 period resistance. Holding $8 support right now. UGAZ keeps creeping up. And EROS, high of the day right now, looking for 934 break. If this 921 becomes support, I'm going to be liking EROS a whole lot more. VRX, all about that 100 period for now. Maintaining supports on the exponential moving averages, but 86.85 is resistance. PCLN yet to hit that new high of day, so we could be seeing a little bit of a double top. Keep EROS on watch. 934 break is bullish. Total volume yesterday was 1.5 million, so still not seeing much in the volume department. And apologies for keeping anyone out of Twitter earlier when asked about it, but I have to give my honest opinion, and I was not comfortable suggesting entry. In terms of yesterday, though, we were all over that 25 support hold, and that break of 25.20 and then 25.40 were both bullish signs. SPY right back near the high of the day. Bouncing around this 100 period moving average resistance and support back and forth. SUNY approaching the low of the day, 361. And EROS broke 934, so look for potential EROS entry back if we get a back test of this support of 921. We have a bullish higher high on the daily chart. Looking to confirm the bullish reversal candlestick from yesterday with a green one today. And here's SPY testing the high of the day. So it's all about 210 for SPY. We pulled back four lower highs in a row on the daily chart. EROS, there's the break, increasing volume, and it might be a runner. Certainly don't want to chase here. But that 934 break was the signal the bulls were looking for, and look at her go. Hoping for some entry around 920s. OZM, a new high of day as well. Etsy broke $9. That's a very bullish development. A close above $9. We're looking at resistance of $9.17, and then there's some upside after that. Middle Bollinger Band is $9.35, so $9.17 and $9.35 for Etsy, but we need to close above $9. Just breaking above it is not good enough. Here's SUNY to test the low of the day, 361. So a bit of a fake out yesterday in terms of the very bullish close, and then not seeing any follow through for SUNY today. And there's certainly a battle between the Bulls and the Bears at this level, and looks like the Bears just won it. So checking the daily chart for SUNY. It may seem pretty overdone with a 13% drop, but keep in mind we did have a 30% day yesterday. Key for the Bulls is to close over the 10-day moving average of 367. Support is going to be 336. And we'll see if 350 psychological comes into play. Here's EROS pulling back now. Looking for entry potentially on this 200 period moving average support of 921. Perhaps a 925. Remember, if you're trying to catch a bid, it's important to put it over some key support level so your order gets filled before everybody else who's watching that same level. FCX seeing some upside, looking for a break of 810. Bottom fishing play would have worked out so far. Resistance is 810 and 811. Lots of work to do for FCX, but volume is certainly there this morning. We've got 6 million. Although I guess yesterday we were over 40 and we already have an hour gone by, so not much to see yet in terms of volume. PCLN still battling this 200 period resistance. Broke above it, pulled back below it. 1253 currently. We'll see if 1250 maintains as support. This 20 period moving average support is catching up quickly. 1245 currently. And here's EROS, maybe giving potential entry opportunity. Thank you for all that SUNY info. OLED. Very bullish start today. Looking like we may be pulling back, but keeping our eye on volume. Not much by way of red volume yet. OLED on the daily chart. Bullish break over yesterday's high of $49.29. $50 is psychological resistance. After that is $50.06. Watching volume, the Bulls would need more than 500,000 shares traded today to be confident in that bullish volume move. $48 is support. We bounced off of that 3 days in a row now, 4 days in a row. But the RSI is 79 on the daily chart and certainly a little overbought. Sure thing, John. So for EROS, we're looking at major support. The 200 period is 921. So look at this big red candlestick. Look at the volume compared to the bullish volume. Insignificant. So this is a normal pullback. Putting a bid in right now to try and catch this support. We have 921 support and then 913 support. Even if we drop below it, as long as we close this candlestick above 921, we maintain it as support, and this volume is certainly not scaring me off like this big red candlestick normally would. So if support is 921, I would put my bid at say 922, 923 So I am skipping people in line who are looking at that same support level and saying, oh, we have support of 921. I'm going to put my order at 921. I want my shares to get filled before them because I want to be sure to get some shares for this bounce if we see it, which, judging by this volume, we should see some nice support hold here. FCX bullish break. Break above 810 was the bullish signal. And just like that, there's ERS's low of 920, EROS. And the bid just like that back to 926. So that's why trying to catch a bid is certainly placing it in the right spot. Hopefully someone was filled there. STRP. So just like that, a 10 cents move in EROS has me wishing I was placing an order at that moment, but it's all good. STRP, a close above $10 would be bullish. As long as we hold this 20-period moving average support of 973, we are bullish as well. I'll check one more time on the daily chart. So decent volume first thing today for STRP. We could see today be the day we do close above $10. I would just be cautious and watching that level very closely. So SUNY, if we drop down to 336, that's a potential entry. RSI is going to be oversold if we were to hit that level in the near term. FCX resistance is the 200 period we pulled back from, 815, and then 822 after that. Support is the 20 period of 811. MW just keeps going. We put this one on our watch list 4 days ago, and we've had, actually 5 days ago, and we've had 5 green days ever since. So perfect swing play. Couldn't ask for anything better than 5 green days in a row. We're looking at resistance of 2136. And if I were in this trade as a swing, I would exit the first time we saw a lower low on the daily chart. We've seen higher lows now 6 days in a row. So that would be a bearish break in trend. Netflix is going to be bullish as long as these 100 and 200 period moving averages are support. 123.64, 123.65. Those are major levels. EROS bounced off the 200 period last candlestick, testing it again. Volume for the bears, very insignificant. Potential entry to this trade. Stop loss, I would put it at 899 below this 100 period moving average support, but that's a 20-cent wiggle room. That's a pretty decent way away. Sorry about that. Dropped my notebook. CMG. 20 period moving average is resistance of 579.49. We did bounce off the 100 period support, so now we're in a clear channel of 20 period resistance, 100 period support. So I would wait to see if we're going to break above or below these levels. So I'm bidding EROS, and unfortunately I've only got 10% of my order filled, which will be frustrating if it moves on without me. I'm at 913. Yeah. OZM, I'd see if you could get it on the 20 period moving average support of 576 currently. This big spike in volume on a bearish candlestick, a little concerning, but it is holding up well. These exponential moving averages are holding as support. STXS 100 period resistance is 106, 20 period support 104. .99 is the 50-day moving average. $1 psychological is also support. 100-day moving average resistance is 110. Pulled back the previous 2 days from that level. Yeah, looks like we're all outbidding each other for EROS. I got 100 out of 1,000 shares. Not very pleased about that. FCX is now above that 200 period moving average resistance. Need to close above 815. High of the day is 819. Looks like we may test that here. And here's the high of test for FCX. Need to break 820 was a resistance level we saw yesterday and pre-market as well. SPY a new high of day. So now we're looking to see if SPY can break above the previous high from pre-market of 209.94 and then 209.96. So a bit of a double top pre-market, but definitely bullish higher highs after bouncing off the 200 period moving average support. PCLN back to looking at that 200 period. Nice alert. Increase in bullish volume. Need to break the high of the day, which is less than $1 away. New high of day for FCX. Let's see if we can break that 820 psychological resistance level we've seen in play. And then after that, we're looking at 822. So nice increase in bullish volume. PCLN target is 1256 for the gap fill. And after that, 10-day moving average resistance is 1274. EROS 915 support, 921 resistance. Three candlesticks in a row of decreasing bearish volume on this pullback. That's a good sign for the bulls. So I was just filled in EROS. Stop loss at 898, just below this 100 period moving average and $9 psychological. Entry was 913 for me. PCLN very close to a new high of day. Twitter keeps on going, new high there as well. No consolidation. RSI is 75 on the 5-minute. So driving up, we've got a degree 1 uptrend holding the 4-period exponential moving average the whole way. Certainly hard to get in a trade like that and feel like you're not chasing. And entry here would be chasing after a 2.5% move. STRP, nice break. Let's see, we had a high of 1022, so now we got a higher high. That's very bullish. Still all about where we're going to close, but the higher high is a good sign. Now we're looking at 1044 resistance for STRP. Yes, sir, CS, we were watching WTW. Had some play there as well. 10-day moving average support on the daily is 25.10. If we close below that, it will be significantly bearish because we have held the 10-day moving average for pretty much the past 3.5 weeks. There is fairly insignificant volume on this pullback the past 5 days. But an increase in bearish volume today would be a good sign if we could close for the bears below that 10-day moving average. TERP, nice bullish reversal hammer, volume climax signaling the bottom. Bullish reversal confirmed next candlestick, now trying to battle the 8-period exponential moving average resistance of 742. EROS needs to turn 920 back into support, the 200 period moving average resistance, and maintain 915. And Twitter is in a bit of beast mode. Increasing volume, breaking out for Twitter. RSI now 78, expecting a pullback in the near term. PCLN break of the high a day, that is bullish. The 200 period is now support as well. 1256 highlighted resistance being tested. Then we have the 10-day moving average after that. FCX rejected twice from 822, the 100 period moving average resistance. Support is 815, the 200 period. So I'm going to sign off in 5 minutes, leave the webcam up, unplug the mic, take a breather, and be back to cover in the chat room. PCLN looking good to confirm the bullish reversal. Nice follow through there. Etsy over $9 is bullish. Need to close over 9. OZM kept going. Not much consolidation there. Kind of the same situation as Twitter.